Hi everyone, I'm Svetlana Rukina from the digital marketing agency Netpeak. I'm the digital strategist and the head of the UK division. And today I'm pleased to welcome you to our online conference, the Digital Marketing Day. So this conference is dedicated to the comprehensive approach of marketing tools in 2022. I hope you will learn how to combine the tools to be more effective and to achieve the results using the specific KPIs and to track your results. Also, we will hear today 6 speakers from Google, from Netpeak agency, from RadASO, and from SendPulse companies about the paid media, about SEO, the App Store optimization, and email marketing. Before to start, I'd like to make 2 small announcements for you. The first one is I would like to ask you to subscribe to our YouTube channel to be informed about all our future events, and there you will get the access to our past events totally for free of charge. The big library of all our digital marketing cases, speeches, and etc. And the second one is also, I'd like to ask you to follow us on the social media, on LinkedIn and Instagram. There you will find all our articles from our Netpeak journal. This is one of the biggest blog about the digital marketing, not only in the Ukrainian CIS countries, but all over the world. So scan the QR code displayed on your screen and follow the link. And now I'd like to introduce our first speaker. It's Adam Hetherington from the Google company. He will share with us the great, I think the most like triggering information about navigating through the messy middle to the customer's digital approach. So we will learn the information of the I think the digital comprehensive approach to favorite brands and the opportunity for competitors and alternatives. We will find out how to ensure the brand presence during the messy middle via coverage and share, and how to responsibly or I think smoothly employ behavioral science principles we are targeting and appealing to audience. And finally, how to close the gap between the triggers and the future and the purchase by driving actions. So Adam, are you here? Are you with us?
Hi,
Nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us today. Okay, just a quick reminder that you have like 30 minutes on your speech, and afterwards we will have a Q&A sessions for 10 minutes from our guests. So let's not waste time. So over to you, Adam.
amazing. Thanks so much. Okay, I'm going to just share my Chrome tab. So let me just get that up for you guys now.
Oh, I think you turn off the microphone. Please turn on the microphone.
When I shared my screen, it did. Hold on, let me just do that.
Yeah, share the screen and turn on the microphone. The microphone was like switched off.
Okay, no problem at all.
Only to see, not to hear. Again, the microphone. It's below.
When I share the screen, my microphone goes. I've clicked the right buttons. Well, look, apologies for that, guys. I promise I won't eat into the questions and answers time as well. I really want to make sure that we answer as many of the questions that you have today when we go through it. As I mentioned before, and I'll keep introductions really quick so we can get into the juicy material. My name is Adam Hetherington. I'm part of the agency team at Google. So our job is to work with the top agencies across the world to make sure that they are preparing for what's going on now, but also what they're doing in terms of looking into the future, so that they can then relay that to their clients and help future-proof their businesses. Today, what I wanted to really talk to you about was a little bit of research that we did with a London-based consultancy called the Behavioral Architects. They're behavioral economics consultancy, one of the best in the world, the first one set up in the UK. And we did this research over a number of years with them. The third iteration of it was supposed to be coming out, and then the pandemic happened. So we'll be getting back on that horse very, very, very soon. But I'll share some of the details with you when we go through this presentation. If you do want to do a little bit of digging yourself, if you just Google decoding decisions, you'll see a Think with Google PDF come up. It's about 98 A4 pages. So I'm going to try and distill that down into a 20-minute talk for you today. But if this does spark some excitement and interest and anything like that, I would definitely recommend going there, as well as speaking to the guys at Netpeak as well. Essentially, what we wanted to do with this research was to try and understand, okay, how the digital consumer has, or how the consumer, not even the digital consumer, how the consumer has changed in the digital world. So we first have to do a little bit of definitions, because this comes from an academic point of view. So I need to do some clarifications at the very beginning. The journey that we're trying to establish is, okay, at the top of this slide here, you'll see trigger. Okay, so that is any moment that prompts me to go and make a decision. So when I woke up this morning, it was my need for a black coffee. You know, it was the lack of caffeine in me. That was my trigger to get up and go. Or I recently traveled to the UK. So it was the first time I've traveled in 2.5 years. And my trigger there was actually seeing all these beautiful flights going around and thinking, oh, I need to go and book a vacation, or I need to do something else. So a trigger is anything that a consumer that happens to a consumer that really gets them on the path to purchase, not whether they purchase or not. Okay. At the very bottom, we have that purchase. So, you know, the trigger has happened. I went down and bought my black coffee earlier on today, and then I made that purchase. However, what you'll find is in the middle here, there's two other sequences that happen. First one is the exploration, and this is an expansive phase that a consumer engages in. This is happening more and more and more as the digital world becomes we become more used to the digital world as a consumer. The reason for that is these little things. So little mobile phones. Like if I asked everyone on the call here today to go in and tell me their last 5 Google searches, I don't think you'd want to do that, because your mobile phone, your mobile device, you're connected to the internet. So it's a get information and put it into my brain. I want to get information right now. And that's the exploratory phase. Okay. So in my case, when I was looking at all the different flights, I had 22 different tabs open in terms of holiday destinations that I could go to. What you have then is also the evaluation phase. So this is a reductive exercise. So after the expansive, there's evaluation, which comes reductive. And this is when I start to make decisions about what is valuable to me as a consumer and start weeding through the gaps. So the example I like to give here is, so Black Friday, or like November last year, was the first year that I bought an electric toothbrush. Changed my life. I had never had one before, and I love it now, and it's the best thing that I've ever done. But I went through an exploratory phase, right? I went and I had loads of different tabs open, looking for the best deals. I was Googling what's the best toothbrush, which is kind of comes back to that, you know, get information and put it in my brain now. That was 22 tabs on my Chrome device. And then what I did is I started to reduce that down. I actually found the toothbrush that I was going to purchase, but I had 3 different stores that I could purchase it from. I'm based in Dublin, so 2 of them were based in the city, and 1 of them was based purely as an online player. And I was in that evaluation phase that try and figure out, okay, which one do I want to go to? Now, in both the toothbrush example, where I actually did make that purchase, I fell down and I went into that purchase cycle, which is where I get experience. And that's what, again, the brand managers on the call today really know and understand, you know, going from product to services, from services to solutions, and solutions to experience. That's the great playground for building loyalty. So in the toothbrush example, it worked. But what you also find is that there's a second line. There's not just a line down from evaluation, there's also a line back into exploration. And my example here is that holiday that I was thinking about booking. I haven't booked any yet. I might not book any for a long time. I'm still in that cycle of exploration and an evaluation. And what we wanted to do with this research was to try and figure out, okay, how as marketers can we effectively work with our communications teams, our media teams, in order to help the consumer out of the exploration and evaluation phase and down into that purchase cycle. So that's essentially what the research we did. Now, we made a couple of rules to the research, which I'll go through. The first one, at the very top, you'll see what we decided was off limits. Okay, so off limits, number 1 was branding, basically the brand strategy. For anyone on the call that has done a rebrand, either of themselves or helped another client do a rebrand, you know how tough and long and painful that process is. So what we decided was, okay, brand strategy off the table for this research, right? It's not about that individual user getting to purchase, that it's a bigger kettle of fish. Okay, so that one was off strategy. The other one that I think is really important to state and to restate and to state again is at the very bottom there, and that's pricing strategy. So after a business has been set up, and after it has established itself in the market, looking at what it costs to provide its services or products or experiences, that's very difficult for us as a marketer to, again, change and adjust in a very quick and efficient way without, you know, a whole digital transformation piece. So we said, actually, pricing strategy is off the table there. Let's just look at what's happening in this middle piece. And what we found is, and there's plenty of examples of this in the longer term paper. It's probably the kind of the most interesting couple of pages, but I'll go over them really briefly. The first one is category heuristics, and essentially what this is it's shortcuts that we make in our brain as humans. You know, as decision makers, we're making assumptions very, very, very fast based off of what is in front of us, and we jump to conclusions very quickly. An example of this is so megapixels on my camera. Okay, megapixels on my mobile phone. I know if the number is big, that's a good thing. If the number is low, that's a bad thing, right? So my heuristic there, or what's important for me as a consumer, is make a really clear statement about what's valuable and just send it to the consumer. And whether they make assumptions, you know, that's totally fine by them. Another one is gigabits in a laptop. So like, does your laptop have, you know, 500 gigs of hard drive space versus 200? It might actually, you know, it makes me make a decision quite quickly. Second one on the right there is authority bias. This one is fairly self-explanatory, but I think it's an important one to state as well, and the differences in authority. So it's not just a case of having authority, but also what is the source of that. Example I like to give here is, so I don't understand wine. To me, it's flavored vinegar. I have no clue. But when I go to a friend's house, I know, okay, I should bring a bottle of wine. So what I do is I go into the store and I look for one that has the gold sticker that says, you know, wine choice of the year 2020, 2021, something like that. And that's me looking at that authority, making a decision, and it's helping me to go from that exploration and evaluation faster down versus an alternative brand. Next one is scarcity, fairly simple. Scarcity about time, about availability, and then also about exclusivity. Are you part of an exclusive club? And that's where I think the branding teams will really love to get involved with. The power of free, a really important one with this is not just the word free, right? It's also, is that actually transferring value? In the longer paper, there is an example where it looks at holiday purchasers, people buying flights and package holidays. One example we give is, okay, free travel insurance versus free room upgrade. Now, both have the word free, but what really, one drives value, the free room upgrade, and one doesn't drive a huge amount of value, free travel insurance, because honestly, I hope to never have to use it anyway. So it's not just using the word free, but also trying to find value for your consumer in that moment. Social norms is a fairly easy one. So reviews are really important things here. Making sure your brand is out and heard. And then finally, the power of now. So the immediacy that you can try and instill to drive action. So like that's the theory, okay? These are the theory. This is what was on and off the table. So, but what did we practically do with that? Well, we did a purchase simulation. So we asked 12,000 consumers in the UK. We asked them, hey, what's your favorite brand over multiple categories? And I'll give you all the categories now in a second. I'm going to use clothing as an example, but we have everything from automobiles to holidays to flights to mortgages, like anything and everything in between, right? But we did a purchase simulation and we said, hey, what's your favorite brand? And 2, give us a number 2 or an alternative one. And we asked all 12,000 people this. And then what we did is, what we wanted to do was to run a simulation to basically see what we could adjust within that messy middle, excluding branding strategy, really important again, excluding branding strategy, excluding pricing strategy. What could we adjust in terms of that messy middle in order to help drive action or see where we could drive action? And what this looked like, this is just a really quick example of what it would look like, is we try to make it as real world as possible while still being a simulation. So we created landing page, or not landing pages, but search results pages. So when a user typed in, or the participant typed in clothing in this example, that they would get to see what would look like modern search. And the reason for that is to try and make it as real world as possible. But again, these aren't real search results page. These are simulations that we have set up. So the first thing we did is, and the clothing example. So I'm wearing Adidas Gazelles at the moment. I had to go and speak at a talk over in Nottingham recently, and I needed to buy new shoes after all of the lockdowns. So I went and I just picked up Adidas Gazelles. So I'm going to use that as an example, but other shoe brands are out there. So I'm not saying one over the other, but that's what I'm wearing right now. So in my example, we have asked, okay, these 12,000 consumers, what's your favorite brand? And in my case, I will just say Adidas Gazelles. Brilliant. Then what we've done is we gave them the trigger. And so you need to buy new shoes. You're going to go speak at an event. Here's the simulation that we're going to run. Now, as I said at the beginning, is the pricing strategy is off limits. So we've just given £50 for this pair of runners that I'm going to purchase. And we've already given that to each of the consumers, right? Or each of the participants in the study. And we said, you've got the trigger, you've got the power to purchase, go and do it, if that's what you like. All the users typed in clothing, or in my case, runners, and then up popped my favorite brand at the top in terms of its search results page. 100% of our participants said, yes, I would click on that. I would purchase those shoes with us. Amazing, right? So they did the basic thing in terms of what we wanted them to do. Then what we did is we had the stated favorite brand. So in my case, RadASO Gazelles. We had, you know, a non-existent brand just below that. And then in the third place, what we did is we just introduced the presence of a second brand, right? So that you know, mine's RadASO Gazelles, it could be like Nike runners or Pumas or something like that, right? We have our stated favorite at the very, very top. And then all we have done is we've introduced the second brand. Again, brand and communications off limits and pricing. So it costs exactly the same for my stated favorite versus this alternative. Also, what we haven't done yet is we haven't changed any of the text. We haven't messed around with that messy middle, you know, category heuristics. We haven't made one better or worse. We haven't gone near any of that. We have simply just introduced this alternative brand. And what we found was quite surprising to a lot of people. We found that people switched from their stated favorite, and I have to reiterate that again and again. They have already held their hand up and said, yes, this RadASO Gazelles are my absolute favorite. We found that 30% of people within the clothing category, and you can see all the categories here up on screen, switched from their stated favorite to an alternative just because the alternative was present, which I thought was absolutely surprising. Now, if you are a new startup, and I've done this, or an equivalent version of this talk for our Adopt a Startup program at Google and new startups, and that's eye-opening. You know, what does that say? It says that there's huge opportunity there just by being exposed, by being present at that right moment for that right user. Now, what we did in terms of the messy middle is we helped to supercharge those 6 and 7 categories across the board. So one example is in terms of authority bias, you'll see that the text has changed. So instead of saying, you know, celebrity's favorite, we have said it's fashion designer's favorite. So we've given something valuable right there that has a little bit more authority than before. You'll see at the very, you know, the stated favorite at the top versus the second favorite when it's supercharged. You'll see more reviews, for example. So the social norms, it's a slightly higher review, but actually the quantity is the key thing here. And you'll see slight different tweaks across those 6 different categories to try and entice that user a little bit more towards this alternative brand. Again, pricing completely off and total brand strategy completely off the table. And what we found was that even more people were willing to switch from their stated favorite brand across to an alternative if that alternative was doing its marketing better. Yes, it has to be exposed at the right time. They needed to put themselves forward in front, but then actually what they could do is their core marketing efforts a little bit more cleverly. Finally, what we did is we did something really cheeky. So has anyone heard of the shoe brand Leaf? I hope not, because it doesn't exist. We made it up. We made up a brand completely. Like brand new brand. We just picked it out of the sky across all different categories, including mortgages, autos, absolutely everything. In the clothing category, it was Leaf. And what we did is we put in this fake brand and we supercharged it as well. So for anyone working with those new startups, this is the power of what you can do if you just involve yourself in the messy middle a little bit more cleverly. So the clothing category is over on the right-hand side, and you'll see that 15% of people would switch from their, and I can't emphasize this enough, their stated favorite brand. They said, this is my absolute favorite. 15% of people within the clothing category would switch to an alternative. And if you think of the market size of the clothing category within the UK, that's massive in terms of revenue opportunity. The one I also wanted to highlight on the very left-hand side as well is also mortgages. So, you know, some people say a bank's a bank's a bank's a bank, you know, and a solution provider is a solution provider. So we had over a third of people would switch from their stated favorite mortgage provider to an alternative despite it being an extremely important part of their life for 25, 30 years, however long it was going to be, with a huge investment and their family home, very important, would switch to a brand that we made up, that doesn't exist, with branding and pricing strategy off the table, just because they were doing their marketing communications better. And I hope when you listen to the rest of the talks that this pops back into your head again and again, looking at the opportunity for marketers to drive real growth. Like, if at the end of this and everyone changed their titles from marketing or digital marketing or marketing executive, chief marketing officer to chief growth, I would be delighted, because that's what you are trying to drive. Okay, so okay, Google, what does that mean? In terms of practicalities. My phone listened to me there. In terms of practicalities, we found three kind of core categories, and I'm going to go through them little by little, but also happy for you guys to ask any questions on this as well as we go forward. First one is ensuring brand presence. So you just seen that at the very beginning, people willing to switch from their stated favorite to an alternative. Now, an existing brand, but to an alternative, just because that brand is present. Now, what's the TLDR on that? Like, what's the secret sauce? Really, what it has to do is coverage and share of voice. Okay, so we're finding that the amount of searches people are conducting are obviously ever increasing, but then we also are finding that the variety of those searches are ever increasing across many different platforms. And it goes back to that thing that I said at the very beginning, is would you go and share your 5 searches with everyone on this call in the chat box beside? And it'd probably be a bit of a nervous thing for you to do. And it's that demand for increased connectivity and demand for get information from my phone, put it into my brain right now. So increased coverage and share creates a huge opportunity, massive opportunity out there. Now, how do you do that practically, right? From a Google Ads perspective, which is what I'm an expert in particular, what we're looking at here is the idea of broad match. So increasing the coverage and reaching intent-based audiences and leveraging that across the extent of Google. Now, broad match has come a long way. For anyone that isn't super in the minutiae, in the details, in the weeds with digital marketing, essentially match types are how we input to our Google Ads system to try and capture user demand. And what broad does is it expands that reach. Now, marketing 10, 15, 5, maybe 4 years ago, it was all about narrowing that down, you know, being as specific as absolutely possible. And it made sense at the time. What we have done is we've put a huge amount of time and effort into increasing our ability to be relevant across broad match. So I'm a Liverpool fan for my sins, and they are sponsored by a number of different brands, clothing brands. If I search for Liverpool, it might be a good idea for that clothing brand to reach me at that time, even though it's not exactly what their core keyword or their core query would have been. Now, if anyone else searches for Liverpool, they might be going on a holiday. It's not the most relevant user. So how do we help that? And that's where our investment in terms of our engineering has really doubled down on in the last 2 to 3 years in particular. And this is where it's kind of changed. There's actually quite a lot of our articles on how we've helped improve this, the amount of signals that we're pulling in. So I was talking about user location there. I'm talking about past intent. So what other things have I been involved as a consumer looking for? And would I, as a user, be the right person to search for when searching Liverpool, those sponsored clothing brands showing up? Yes, I would. Someone else with different behaviors, no, I'm not. And that's what the broad match in particular can help us do versus other match types. Now, again, very in the minutiae, and I don't want to get too bogged down for the high-level marketers in the call. One example, and this is like a really poor slide. I'll make sure that these are sent over to the Netpeak team as well afterwards. Actually, I have all the slides, so more than happy to share it with them afterwards. But we had Japan experience. So Japan experienced a huge amount of growth during the Rugby World Cup in Japan. It's an incredible tournament. And what they were finding was they had a huge amount of organic growth, but what it was doing was actually eating into their margins. So they use broad match, but they tied it with the second piece. So they tied it with that piece of automation that looked across all of the different signals to bring it back together and to drive incremental value and incremental sales for them as an organization. Some people say conversions, some people say sales, some people say pounds, some people say dollars. It doesn't matter. It's what you want to drive as a business using broad coverage with the automation will allow that. And that comes on to the second piece. So to intelligently and responsibly, please, employ behavioral science principles. So those 6 categories that I talked about before, using that in terms of your targeting strategy for your marketing, as well as appealing to that right audience at the right time. And what's the TLDR on that? Okay, so like how does that actually come into play? It's through machine learning powered bidding, basically. So smart bidding is the easiest way to explain it. So pairing broad match with that safety net of automated bidding that allows us to dig into those signals and evaluate whether a consumer searching in a broad term is very likely to purchase with us or very unlikely. And if they're very unlikely, what we need to do is stay away from that. So the key with the automated bidding here is being able to reach in terms of that broad reach, but reach it efficiently. When I say broad, I don't mean, you know, place a pound on each bid as you go through every single search that a user has. It makes no sense. What I'm saying is utilize the Google smart bidding, machine learning powered tools with the data that we have in order to make decisions efficiently on what is valuable and what is not valuable. So those things always should be paired together. Always pair them together to allow you to have that safety net in terms of backing out of auctions or backing out of queries that are not going to drive the value to your business. So in target ROAS, for example, target return on ad spend, it's trying to drive incremental pound values or dollar values to you based off of basket size and likelihood of users to purchase versus target CPA trying to aim towards a cost per acquisition if you're a lead gen company. So I would always pair the two of them together. Don't do the broad without making sure that you have this foundation in place. When I talked about our development of broad, if you look at the development of Google's ad suite in the last couple of years, it really makes the assumption that you're already here. You've already built that foundations of your smart bidding. And now what we can do is we can add in different pieces to it as well. And you'll find it, I wanted to talk about that one in particular, but you'll find other examples like dynamic search or responsive search ads for anyone kind of in the know. It works in exactly the same way, allowing us more opportunity and greater breadth underpinned by our smart bidding machine learning powered solutions. And that's just a slide saying value-based bidding is striving towards your goals. So it's what you input is also key to what comes out the output. And finally is close the gap, right? Close that gap and get me out of my exploration and evaluation phase of whether I need to book a holiday and get me to buy a flight or a hotel rental, whatever it is. And the TLDR on this is twofold. One is focus on your business goals, and be a little bit more channel agnostic where you can be in terms of how you look at the Google suite. One example of this, but there's many across different platforms, and that's where I'd really implore you to talk to the Netpeak guys in terms of how they can drive the most amount of value for you as a business. That's their expertise is helping to translate this for you in your own business context. But one example is Performance Max, which looks across the entire Google owned and operated suite of products, whether it is search or maps or discovery or YouTube or whatever the case may be. And it says, you know what, actually, as long as I'm driving my ROAS goals, or I want to maximize the amount of acquisitions that I have, cost per conversions with this limited budget, I don't care which one it's on. I don't exactly care which query it is or what exact format. What I want to do is I want to drive bottom line for me and my business. So that's one example of making sure we're doing it. The second one is, this one's really important as well, is as regulations change, as hardware and software changes, also ensuring that we have a privacy-centric measurement helps us to drive and understand users who are coming in and out of that exploration and evaluation phase. So if we have a privacy-focused and central-focused marketing strategy that allows us to measure and model in the best way possible, what we can do is we can evaluate, okay, which users did drop down into that purchase and experience phase and which ones are still on the exploration. So both of those things kind of come in together. A couple of different things is the reason privacy centric is so important to marketers, and it's so important to get it right like now. It's so important to get it right like 2 years ago, right? If it's not crystal clear for you, like this is really important, like right now, is with better measurement, you'll have better remarketing, obviously, but think about the flip side of it. With worse or with lesser measurement, with measurement solutions available, your automation, your smart bidding, which again underpins everything, it starts to get worse because it has less data in which to feed it, has less examples of which to go forward with. And it also means that decision making from your side also gets trickier, because you are having to close one eye while hitting a tennis ball. It's not as beneficial as having both open. And that's where it kind of comes into that automated campaigns. The better visibility, the better we are able to do it. In terms of the products that we have, there are many. You'll hear consent mode, particularly in the EU or Europe, and then also enhanced conversions, which is a really important one. But again, this is something definitely speak to the Netpeak guys about. Essentially, what the way enhanced conversions work is someone goes and purchases on the website. What we do is what you guys would do as a business is you have a code on the website at that conversion place that takes an example here is Jane Doe, so her email. It hashes it using SHA-256, so Google doesn't know that email, if you know what I mean. Nobody, like, we can't tell, but what we can do is we can match that to another hashed logged in user on our side and be able to tell, okay, a user did purchase at this point, and we have no PII, no personal identifiable information at all, and it's done in a secure and safe way. With enhanced conversions, it's really helping performance impact. Like, these are the numbers as of today. They're going to get bigger, and if you think about that market share, if you at the very beginning when I said, okay, there's 15% market share for the brand Leaf, right? Imagine if that brand Leaf nailed their privacy-centric measurement as they entered the market, and you are an incumbent clothing brand who haven't nailed it. That gap in market share gets bigger and easier for them to acquire. But yeah, in terms of clients who used enhanced conversions in our initial trials and our initial rollouts, 15% increase in terms of the amount of search conversions that are reported. Now, these sales happened irrespective of enhanced conversions, but because we were able to report them, we were able to feed them back and get an understanding and allow our machine learning and our smart bidding to get an understanding, okay, which ones actually did and what can we get from that. But also when you look at the longer term, so the longer buying cycles, and like, marketing existed before clicks existed, right? It's thousands of years old. But if you look at YouTube, for example, which goes over the 24-hour period, which is when browsers can delete things and everything like that. So from a more visual point of view, as we become more channel agnostic, it becomes increasingly important. So 17% extra conversions reported to YouTube as a result. Because you might see a YouTube ad, but am I necessarily going to go and search for it that day? No, I might do it 2 days later, for example. So it's a really important one to kind of get that understanding, that measurement piece, as well as drive the user down in terms of the marketing strategy. So I am pretty much up on time. So I've got a few minutes for questions, but really what I wanted to say was, whether you're an established brand or whether you are a challenger brand, have a look at this messy middle and get really excited for today, and take down loads of notes that you can, and figure out, okay, what are the couple of things that I'm going to do to help improve my marketing strategy in that middle, in that messy middle, in order to continue to grow within my market, and maybe look at other ones as well. So thanks so much for listening. Please do search Decoding Decisions on Google. You can Google it and you'll get the full research there. And then I would be absolutely delighted if there's any questions that that could be posed back to me. I can't see the chat, so maybe someone from the Netpeak team would be able to let me know.
Yes, it will be me.
Amazing, thanks so much.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Adam. This was a fantastic speech. I've enjoyed so much, and I had so many insights. And in fact, I have the question from the TED. He's asking about this category heuristic from your research. So there are like most valuable major scenes for the customers, yes, and we should know it and use it in our campaigns, but how to find out them? So are they like most likely for some categories, for some goods, or should we just like going through research all the time to find out these most valuable things for our customers? So maybe you have the answer for this question.
Yeah, so I'm actually at an executive circle in the next three days with INSEAD,
cool.
the great crew, and we have C-levels in the room. And part of INSEAD's research was that they asked them, okay, for the C-level, C-suite, CEOs, what's the average time, or what's the average distance and time between them actually talking to a user of their product versus when they are now? And the average is 10 to 12 years.
12 years.
Years. And I am not joking, right? Now, these are some of the best C-levels that across Europe, across the world. 10 to 12 years. Honestly, spend 5-10 minutes talking to your customers.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. And I wish there was a better way of doing it. I don't know for every individual category, because business is all about context, right? It's all about, okay, you as a context, but spend the 5-10 minutes talking to a customer and really getting to understand and ask why they're interested in this, what's important for them, because some things can be very, very small and slight, like the megapixels, for example. That was found 10-15 years ago when mobile phones started getting better cameras. Oh, we ask consumers what's important. Cameras. What's a shortcut for the brain? This word called megapixel. So now it's so normal to include it in advertising for that category, but actually it was from a conversation with a customer. So don't be like the C-suites at these conferences, and don't take 10 to 12 years to talk to your actual consumers and understand how they use your products and services. Do it more regularly than that.
Okay, yes, thanks so much. Yes, in fact, there is a tricky thing that the customers won't tell you the truth, or they will tell you something that they won't do it, in fact. So it's like, you have to measure it, and you have to discover and to look through very smoothly on it, also research, because sometimes you can be like a fool because you just think that, oh, it's important for them, but in fact, not.
Exactly. We have a process in Google that is like, we say feedback is a gift, if you know what I mean. It's kind of, we all kind of know it and we understand it. And what we don't say out loud as much, but it's a process we use, is validation is a key. So feedback is a gift, but you have to go back and validate whether that was
yes,
real, not real. So it's exactly to your saying, and or what you were saying, to just get the feedback in and say this is all truth, 100% perfect. That's actually missing the key step, which is validate. Validate what is real, what is not, and then don't worry. And you will never get 100% truth, but as close as you can.
Yes, just to gather all these feedbacks and then to validate it, to make like A/B tests or something like that. Yes, to check the hypothesis and then to find out that it's really like a truth. Okay, I have also one question. So you told us about this broad approach, yes. So to be in the customer's appearance, to be in their like KPIs, we have to use this broad approach. But what about the UCP, about the unique selling proposition? What about to be focused on your customers? So this is like, about the niche markets. Now we are like returning in the competitors and the fight between the competitors only using the money. About the budget. Yes. The winner is who has more.
Yeah, no, so like, and I 100%. So I actually, my history in Google is actually working with small businesses. So David versus Goliath, it was always David. That was the one I was interested in. And actually what this does is it democratizes that. So one is make sure that you have the right data in place, because you're going to feed that machine learning as much as you possibly can. But definitely don't underestimate the amount of backing out of auctions that the automation is trying to do. So like you could be on 100 exact searches, right? Or you could be on 60 or 100 broad searches, but the broad might have entered 1 million different auctions, right? That's more breadth for the broad to figure out, okay, which user is actually valuable to me and which one isn't, and then to try and back out. Now, what you also mentioned there is about, okay, try and get your specific to your customer, especially with the unique selling point. There was a slide that I was thinking about leaving in, but I didn't, but I'll share across with you guys afterwards that has exactly that. And what it does is it looks at, okay, ads or text or content. So an ad that might appeal to me might be very different that appeals to you, that might be very different to appeals to another. And that's where I talked about the likes of responsive search ads. So we announced, I think, a year ago that responsive search ads, and essentially what they are is, you don't give me an ad for a search, you give me 6 different descriptions, 10 different headlines, and we will pull it together.
Yes.
And we announced about a year ago that was actually going to be the main format going forward. And it's thinking about it in that context and finding, okay, how many of these valuable resources can I input to allow the machine learning to output and get the best solution for us. So it's to go back to A/B testing. Like I had a client who said they wanted to A/B test between 2 different ads, and one ad was better in 55% of the time. So therefore they said that was the better ad. Let's show it to 100% of the people. Which to me kind of it made me squirm, because I thought, no, show the ad that's better for the 55% of the people, show them that ad, and then for the 45% that preferred the other, show them the other one. Who cares?
Yes.
So it is about bringing all of those tools together, reaching broad, yes, but then also not reaching broad with one message or with one way of talking about your USP. Trying to think about that in a broader sense as well.
Okay, I see. Thanks so much. This was a quite cool speech. Yes, thank you. I'm fun and I'm in love with it. Yes, yes.
Great.
I'm the marketer, and you like blow my brain about all this like things about this broadness and etc. etc. So thank you so much, and I wish you a good day, and thank you for being with us.
Thanks so much, guys. Look, I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.
Bye. Okay, now I'd like to introduce our second speaker. This Alexandra Zakharova from the Netpeak agency. She's my colleague, in fact, and she will tell us about the how to make ads campaigns more effective using analytics and attribution. And Sasha told me that there are no any tips how to set up the campaigns or how to work with the keywords, headlines, and orders, and etc., etc. So the question is how to go deeper into the situation and work with the running campaigns and how to improve it on this particular way. And so we will find out some helpful information about the proper instruments of analytics and attribution based on the customer journey map, of course, and on our Netpeak case agencies. So Sasha, hi, how are you?
Hi. Oh, I'm okay, a little bit nervous, but yes, you said such good things about me and my speech, so I'm even better now, so yes.
Yeah, I think everything will be okay, and just relax, and I'm sure that the speech is perfect, and we will find out so many insights, and your experience is amazing, so I definitely believe you will share with us something very cool. Okay, Sasha, so don't wait, let's not waste the time, and it's over to you.
Yes, can you see my presentation? Yes?
Yep.
Okay, let's begin. As it was mentioned before, I'm actually Alexandra Zakharova, but it's better to call Sasha. Anyway, I'll tell you how to make ad campaigns more effective by using analytics and attribution. First of all, who I am. I'm a middle PPC specialist at enterprise department in Netpeak. It's like a great department in our agency who manages different large projects. So yes, we do it. I'm a certified specialist in Google Ads, Google Analytics, and media. I work with medium and large businesses from all over the world, but now it's Ukraine, Europe, and the USA. Also, I'm a speaker on different marketing conferences, as you can see, and sometimes I perform somewhere else. A little bit about Netpeak. Here you can see some of our clients. They are most interested for you, but there are a lot of them. So there are our Netpeak group companies. Maybe you can know some of them by like Serpstat or Ringastat, because they're very popular tools for PPC and SEO specialists. About Netpeak, we've been working at the internet marketing since 2006. We have more than 2,000 successful projects, more than 200 certified specialists, and we have 6 offices in 3 countries. And today is about our structure. First, we've met each other. After that, I'll tell you what is it all about, because the name of a speech is very loud, but it is simple, actually. Customer journey in retail. After that, custom analytics versus Google Analytics, and assisted conversions and multi-channel conversions, and a little bit of cases. So what is it about? I work mainly with large clients who have their own in-house teams of specialists or top marketing agencies. And for most of my clients, when we start working with them, they have their analytics and advertising accounts fully configured. So I won't tell you here about how many titles or extensions in ads should be in your search campaigns or etc. So, well, actually, a lot of valuable stuff already Adam said to you. So first, let's talk about the user sparse in retail. And We all know that attracting a new client is now almost impossible within one touch with our website or mobile app. And in our practice, we see that about 90% of users make transactions after several interactions with our website and or mobile application. Well, you can see some of examples here when somebody can interact with us more than 155 times before they make a conversion. Yeah, it was example from one of our e-commerce clients here. So a significant proportion of advertisers still use the last click attribution model, which takes into account only the last interactions. But as we can see, there are a lot of them. And this, as a result, it misses a lot of data of analytics. So large clients solve this problem by investing thousands of dollars in their custom analytics systems, collecting raw data on the basis of which they build their own attribution models, which are the most suitable for their customer journey and for their business goals. Here you can see some of the services that can help with this custom analytics, like OVOX, Singular, Raw Revenue, and they can help you, but for the most businesses, this path is either unavailable. Well, actually, unavailable, it is expensive to tell the truth, and it is very difficult, and it takes a lot of time to launch all the analytics and attribution and to make it go. Therefore, here we've made an approach based on standard functionality of Google Analytics, which help us to evaluate campaigns better than the last click attribution. To tell you the approach in a simple way, I will tell you on an example of one of our clients with whom we've been working for about 6 years before we implemented the approach. At some point, we began to bulk at the KPIs set by the client. To meet the previous KPI targets for the ad spending share, we had to slow down, remove expensive campaigns, and lower our bids. The share of spending on remarketing and brand search was growing, but the share of spending budget and on customer acquisition campaigns were decreasing. So we were working on a lower funnel with our audience, but we forgot, and we had no opportunity to work with the higher funnel because we had our KPIs, and all this stuff led audience to burn out and sales decreased, not only from paid traffic sources, but all of them. Essentially, we had hit the ceiling and were caught in a vicious circle. That is, we hit ceiling and got, in order to maintain the previous level of advertising spending, the highest converting campaigns, remarketing and branding advertising must work, and we left them. And in order them to work and grow and scale, you need to increase the audience and launch campaigns for new users there. But we had our KPIs with our share, and it didn't allow us to meet the desired share of advertising costs. What have we done? There are a lot of points, but let's take a look at them. First, we analyzed advertising activity over the past 3 years and identified the most important point of growth, increasing the number of users at the top levels of the funnel to cover the lack of a new audience. That is, we can bring new users who will not pay off on last click attribution, but will make transaction in branded remarketing and smart shopping campaigns. The CPA for such users is significantly higher than the normal ones and the expected ones according to our KPIs. So we have taken the following steps. First, we switched conversion and revenue tracking to the Google Ads stack. Why did we do it? First, if we brought a user for a common keyword and then he made a purchase through organic search, then the campaign counts the conversion for itself. That is, there is much more data for campaign optimization, and approximately 2 times. The more campaigns sees real conversions that were made by user who interacted with our ads, the more statistics it has to find the right audience. Second, it is ability to track view-through conversions in display campaigns, also in video discovery campaigns, etc. And third was switching to the ad stack gives you the opportunity to see and grow those campaigns, scale all those campaigns, then bring in new relevant users who make purchases through any other source. So you can see all these users who only saw your ad on a display, for example, but didn't interact with them. But after that, he made a conversion on your site, like via organic. So we can see that in a common situation in our ad account, we don't see this conversion because it was inorganic, and in Google Analytics we can see that there was an organic. But if we go to assisted conversions, then we'll see this conversion. But these statistics doesn't count in our ad account, so we have less data to optimize all the stuff there. Second, we switched all campaigns to auto strategies. Machine learning algorithms capture a huge number of users' requests and identify patterns and predict further behavior. Thanks to this, auto strategies themselves choose for which user it is relevant to raise the rate or a bit, and for which to lower it. Thus, it is possible to spend the budget more efficiently. Third was launching media performance with post-view analysis, as I said in a first point, and using multi-channel funnels to measure the result of campaigns. For example, it is easy to analyze the performance of media campaigns in Google Ads thanks to user-friendly interface and displaying post-view conversions that we can see because we made in the first point, we added Google Ads tracking. We can see in the interface post-view conversions right in your account. We grew those campaigns and pay off based on view-through conversions. Remarketing was, and all the KPIs for remarketing campaigns and for new user acquisition campaigns were like divided. So we looked at KPIs on different campaigns with different goals in a different ways. So our marketing, branded campaign, and etc. were working like they were working before, but the new campaigns with new approach, they were analyzed in a different way with post-view analysis and etc. stuff. Fourth, we launched video campaigns. It was great that several deals from the client worked here, and non-stop videos campaigns as well worked very well. And there were a lot of view-through conversions thanks to the Google Ads stack. And voila, even more audience at the top level of funnel with a lower share of advertising expenses than search campaigns. Even yes, a lot of people think that launching media campaigns is very expensive and they can't work in a proper way to give you conversions, but it's not like that. Fifth, launching discovery campaigns. After the new beta from Google was appeared, we were first in our country, as I remember, who used it and got an advantage over competitors. and a pretty boost in transactions. First of all, discovery campaigns are like targeting to conversions, and there were like target CPA in discovery. So far, it takes into account only last click conversions. So the important point was a gradual and timely increase in bids, and also focusing on post-view conversions. Well, as you understood, we paid a lot of attention on post-view conversions, because a lot of advertisers just don't do it. Don't know why. And sixth, the last but not least, we had no restrictions. There were no budget restriction in for our effective search and shopping campaigns. They were unlimited, and if they needed more budget to scale themselves and to bring in more conversions, they had those money. And at the same time, not only the status of campaign limited budget can be a guideline for adjustments in the percentage of received. It can be also like click share, and we always look at the click share, and if it is below 90%, then it is worth checking how much of the budget has been spent in recent days. If the campaign ever hit a ceiling or spent 90% of the daily budget, then you need to raise it. If the campaign pays off, the percentage of received clicks is low, and the budget does not rest against the ceiling, then it is worth raising target CPA or lowering target ROAS. And after all these points, all we did, what we've got. Here we can see the comparing year to year of our activities for these clients, and launching advertising campaigns for a wide audience did not pay off according to a classical attribution model, but it helped us to increase the audience of active site users and increase conversion campaigns by several times. We comprehensively analyzed not only how individual campaigns performed, but also how they affected the overall performance of the online store. The results obtained at the high of the season speak for themselves. Well, actually, we can see great results, and also when we were doing the approach, we understood that in some cases we should give more budget to our campaigns, but if you don't, you also can optimize your campaigns via post-view conversions, and to understand, well, actually, if you have a campaign like GDN, smart GDN campaign with the conversion optimization, and you see no conversions in your table, no conversions, but there are, for example, 200 post-view conversions. Can you say that this campaign is ineffective? No, it is effective, because it was on the road of your customer to make a conversion on your website. So to sum up all the stuff, first, you got the Google Ads stack for measuring your stuff on your ad account. After that, you launch different campaigns that can help you to fill the higher funnel audience. Well, actually, if you are not stopped on your lower funnel and you have ability to grow there, and you have ability to give more budget and receive more conversions from your common search and shopping campaigns, you can do it. But at one time, there will be no data for your campaigns to optimize more. And shopping campaign, as you understand, and now it's like performance max campaign, it also works like dynamic remarketing. So it needs data, it needs your traffic to website. If you don't give more traffic, your campaigns will work bad, as we discovered it with our clients. And after that, we're looking for new approach in new ways to make stuff, all the stuff better. And finally, the last but not least, a few cases with our clients from retail too, that were using such approach. Also, of course, we had individual cases there, and not for all of them it is the standard situation to make all the steps, but actually it can be. First, it is our case from fashion retailer #1 in Ukraine. We've been working with them since May 2017, and there we've applied our approach with multi-channel analytics and using auto strategies. Also, we connected the Google Ads tag conversion tracking. And also here we set up ROPO analytics. Now it doesn't work ROPO as it was there, but we're going to make it great again. In the first year after we started doing this stuff, we grew 3 times, and as you can see, year after year, the revenue was like increasing like wow. So through all the years of work with the client, the income in Google Ads has grown 30 times. 30 times. It is a lot for a business who wants to grow and become great. Second, it is a sport retailer. Actually, it was the same thing. We set up multi-channel attribution. We debugged work with auto strategies for the sales funnel because we had a little problems there. Connected performance media advertising, as I said before, with video campaigns, GDN discovery campaigns. Set up ROPO analytics, and for a year of work, they increased the income by 5.6 times. The same thing that we have, we are stopping at our performance campaigns in search and shopping. Now it is Performance Max, and we should look for another ways to fill our site with new traffic. It can be as media campaigns from Google Ads, as etc. Different instruments like Meta or etc. You can use that, but Meta doesn't show you the difference in conversions between last click conversions after clicking or after viewing. I remember that we could do it with Facebook attribution tool, but now it is unavailable. So we are talking about Google tools because they are available for us and we can see everything in our advertising account. And the third one, it is international sport brand. I think that you all know them, but I can't show you, unfortunately. What did we do? We set up multi-channel attribution as the before, connected to ROPO analytics, improved work with auto strategies in Google and Facebook. Now it's Meta. Set up smart shopping for new customers. It is also appeared not so long time ago. So yes, it was a challenge to set up smart shopping for new customers. And if we compare year to year, we increased 5.5 times. Well, actually, it was like success stories, but they need a time. And also, if you want to do it here, like at the current time, you need a time to do this approach, to set up all your campaigns, to test them, to understand which are working okay and which are not. And after that, you understand that GDN campaigns don't work as it can work, but discovery campaigns have a lot of post-view conversions. And after that, you go to Google Analytics and see a lot of assisted conversions from discovery ads, but in your standard reports in Google Analytics for last click attribution, you can't see them. And after that, you are thinking like, wow, I can see them, but it is not economically, it is not right actually, but it's scaling your business and it is scaling your website. And by increasing budget and setting up launching new campaigns, you are growing another sources and like organic and direct traffic and etc. So it is like your investments to your whole website, and don't look only on Google CPC, Source and Medium in your reports. It doesn't work like that. You should see how the whole system works, and how much conversions do you get after the Google ads or Facebook ads advertising campaigns, like how many people go to your website and do a conversion in organic traffic, but before they did some stuff and they interacted with you with your advertising systems. It is more wider than your custom reports, and you should try it. It does worth it. So here it is. Actually, it was not all I wanted to tell you, but we are limited in our time. So if you have questions, I'll be glad to answer them. Yes.
Okay, Sasha, it was nice. Thank you so much for such a detailed and very and based on the cases your speech. So I have several questions for you from our
Okay.
So the first one is from the Max. Why did you use ad stack but not Google Analytics? So I think that you've shared with us with this information, but can you maybe tell us more detailed? So
yes. As I said before, yes, there were a few points about why did we use that, but I can see I understand why was this question asked, because a long time ago, Google Analytics were setting up post-view conversions also in their analytics, and so we was able to see post-view conversions, but it didn't work properly. But Google Ads tracking working properly, and we can see all the whole stuff in our ad account. So it was the easiest way to track those conversions and to understand which campaigns are working better or worse in our attribution window and in our ad account. So it was just easier to do it.
Okay. I have also one question. So all these cases, they are like for a long-term period, and you showed us like for year to year the growth of the income and the conversions and the quantity of the users. But what about if we need to do something like right now? For example, we need to grow up our activity in a month and to grow up the conversion and of course to raise our sales. So is there any way to use this approach, but not in such a in a long-term period?
Well, as I said before, if you have your search campaign and shopping campaign they are based in their budget fully, and you are adding budget, but they don't spending it. So then you should fill your higher funnel, because they won't work at the same way longer, because they have no data to optimize and they have no traffic to give the audience, bring the audience and to work properly. So you should do it, but it depends on how many campaigns are you planning to launch, which campaigns. They are more performance like Smart GDN on discovery, or they are more media like YouTube, not for YouTube for action, but YouTube or standard media campaigns for reach and etc. They're working in different ways. So it depends on your current situation, in your ad account and with your business and with your goals. What do you need to reach with your goals within this 1 month?
I see. Okay. Yes. We have also one very interesting question. I'm not sure if okay, I will ask you, and I think you will share our experience. And this is from the Paddy's Berries. I suppose this is the name of the brand. So, hi, I grow raspberries. I sell through several supermarket chains on my own label. Demand is much higher than my production, but I want to build brand recognition. And I don't have one now, so can you help me? I think that this is also because connected to the ROPO analysis. So how to connect all this recognition and the purchase, offline purchase. So can you share with us some experience and how it affects on the brand?
Well, on brand, it doesn't affect because offline conversions. Okay, if you launch your branded campaigns and after that you see in your ROPO analytics there are a lot of offline conversions, then you can analyze it and understand that you've brought all those users who saw or interacted with your ads on the internet. They went to your offline market and bought some different stuff that they bought. You can use different tools from advertising systems, like Google has its own ROPO analytics with to import all the offline conversions to the ad account, and after that in ad account you can see all offline conversions that were created after the interaction or after the interaction with your advertisements. So yes, you can use this. Also, Facebook has the same thing. They have import of offline conversions. It is even easier to implement than in Google. You just upload the CSV file with your customer data and it like mapping it, and then you understand. And also in your ad account, you can see all the stuff. But if you want to grow your like transactions online, it is better to use those tools that I've mentioned before. If you want to, and also to launch media and branded campaigns. If you want to raise your offline purchases, it is better to set up the offline conversion tracking. And after that, understand which of your campaigns are working for your goal of increasing offline conversions or not. There are standard tools from your advertising systems. It is pretty easy to implement, but in Google it is better to have good software developer and website developer from your side. Yes,
to implement everything. Yes. Okay, we have also one question is from Anna. Which attribution do you use in Google Ads tag? I mean the particular one.
Good question, because yes, we were talking that we are not using last click attribution. Most of all, we set all the attributions in our ad accounts for big clients to data-driven attribution, because it counts all the interactions with the user, and it doesn't give you one conversion. It can give you half of conversion or 0.1 conversion if your share in this user's path was not that big as the other sources. So we use data-driven, yes.
Okay, data-driven, cool. Okay, I have also one question. So you've showed out the cases which are very successful in terms of the profit of the purchase and of the conversion, etc. If we will measure the spendings, yes, I mean the budget cost and the profit and at the end that we'll get. So can we like evaluate these two factors? For example, we've raised our budget in 2 times and we've received like income more than like in 4 times or in 5 times. So is there any like, you know, this specific approach to using the budget or spendings, because the customers always want to know, so how much money should I spend to receive like this result?
Yes, I see. It's a very common question about it. Actually, it is very, it depends on each situation and on your business. Of course, if you're a large business or you're a famous sport brand, everyone is already know you. So it is easier to launch your performance campaigns, and they perform good because everyone knows you. But if you're a new brand, first of all, you should create your brand awareness, and after that, you launch your performance campaigns. So, brand that is popular now, it can spend less money for great performance and great revenue. But they've spent a lot of money for their brand awareness before. So so now they can do it easily without that. But if you're a new brand, you should also to launch your brand awareness campaigns to create your brand awareness, and also to launch your low funnel performance campaigns like search, shopping, performance max, that you can work with. It is the easiest instruments to start your business and start your advertising. So you need more money to be as great as a popular brand. Of course, it also depends on your market share and what product do you have. If it is something small or exclusive, you don't need a lot of money because it is exclusive and not a lot of people need it. But if you are, but if you are like trading clothes or shoes or etc. that everyone needs, it is quite harder to spend less and get more. So it needs more budget investments.
Yeah, I see. So everything is dependable, and
yes, it is. There, if there will be one common way to do it, I would have no work. So it is actually depends on different situations and businesses, goals, and etc.
Yeah, me too. So everything should be tested. So many hypotheses and etc. And you should validate it and then to change it. And it's like the workload is like all the time should be changed or something like that. Okay, so Sasha, thank you so much. It was
thank you.
Very nice. And I like it. Yes. So the approach is really I don't know, so good one, and so huge. I mean, in the way of reaching such a cool goal. So thank you for
but
your
it
time.
Is very simple. It's actually very simple.
Yeah. I do believe you. Okay, thank you, and I wish you a lovely day, and so see you soon. Bye.
See you soon. Bye.
Okay, guys, so now I'm pleased also to introduce our third speaker. He's also my colleague from the Netpeak agency. It's Alexey Matuzny, who's a SEO specialist at our enterprise department at Netpeak, and he will share with us the basic, trends, the basic topics about the SEO in 2022. Yes, so how to get more traffic in this time. So we will talk about the core web vitals, about the long tail questions, keywords that people also ask about, the how to create keyword clusters and etc. How to use artificial intelligence to work with the content strategy, and how to optimize how to use the content optimization software. So many new words, and I think we will find out a lot of different, a lot of insights. And so Alexey, hi, nice to see you here. Nice to see you. The word is up to you. So please share with us all this critical information.
Hi everyone. 1 second, I will just share my presentation. Did you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Today we will talk about the top 10 SEO trends and strategies to get more traffic in 2022. Short about me, I'm an SEO from 2010 year. Worked with the biggest information and e-commerce projects in Ukraine. I also like to research Python niche for SEO and test many types of different scripts. For example, it's tables automation, data analysis, business process automation, and other stuff that we can use every day working in the internet marketing. Today, I want to talk about top 10 what you need to do to improve your traffic. The first one is Core Web Vitals. As we know, last year page experience update was the biggest change for search in the last several years. So page experience are now wonderful by Core Web Vitals and now officially a Google ranking factor. We know that there is a 3-1 that the important for your project or your website, or it's like LCP, it's feed and CLS. You need to work on your page speed for each type of pages. For example, it's main page, it's category, it's product page, maybe it's an article page. And also we have a new report in Google Search Console that shows the experience of your probably website speed, and we see which percent of our pages is quality and which percent of our pages we should to work on. So it looks like something like this. So you can go to the Google Search Console, open it, and check which page you need to work on. Also in the SEO industry, we will likely see many specialists and agencies that provide their services to increase page experience and increase your Google page speed. If you don't have the team in-house to make these more technical optimizations, consider about outsourcing this to a SEO agency or SEO service which provide it. The second one is a blog people also ask. A recent study of many search queries show us that Google's people also ask future now show up for a half of searches. With its prominent placement at the top of the SERP, and it's always more and more about the first position, everyone is going to want to get their content ranking in this coveted SERP feature. It's like something like this. To get there, you need to provide answer to the common questions in your content. You can go to the SERP or use the keyword research tools to identify long tail questions, keywords among your audience. Then provide comprehensive answers, including the questions in your H2, H3, and H4, or adding FAQ sections where should be question and answer, and you need to prepare an FAQ markup. This strategy will be a great way to gain more visibility at the top of SERPs in 2022, even if the web page where you provided the answer ranks lower on page 1 or even on page 2. Also, you can find it using your website or your competing website in Ahrefs. You can put the website which you analyzed on the search string. Then you go to the report called organic keywords. Then you need to select insert features blog people also ask, and you can see a keywords which shows the Google in this blog. The second we should work on is keyword research. keyword research is the foundation of SEO, but as NLP, its natural language processing technology, has gotten more advanced, effective keyword targeting has become a more granular and complex process. Gone are the days of optimizing your landing page and blog post for single keyword targets. Google ranks our landing pages for multiple keywords anyway, meaning 2022 is the year to aim higher. In the example below, we create semantic for 3D rendering, architectural visualization, virtual staging, and virtual tours. As we see, here we use a pretty simple script on Google Colab using NLP, which help us to understand each cluster for keywords and identify each keyword's difficulty. And we can use it, for example, to create new pages, to understand which keywords in informational keywords, which keywords we should aim on the main page or on the category page, or maybe we should create local pages, because in this semantic core, I know there is keywords with New York, Boston, and other their local cities. Keyword clustering is more effective to increase the total keywords for your page ranking and establish your website as an authority in keywords topic areas. The second what I want to tell you is AI generated content. Today we know there is the many model of GP3 that provide a lot of SEO text for Amazon websites niche, and many of link builders use something like Jarvis to generate a text and buy guest posts for their website. So here I collect some of them. It's like content tools, as I said, Jarvis, Headline, KPIs. And in 2022, we will see many content and many content teams that generate the text first and then they rewrite it and use it for a website. Here is some of the most effective ways to use these AI content tools. You can generate a topic or a title, and you can use it for generation and metadata like title, description. For example, if you need to provide thousands of your meta tags, you will do it very long time. It's probably a couple of months, but this tool can generate you in probably 1-2 hours. And also there is a tool that provides outlines for copywriters because they collect all data from all pages in the SERP, and they show you how many keywords you need to use, how many H1, H2 you need to use, and maybe you need to add your content questions or something like this. So you can use them for this way. Also, there is a content optimization software. Content optimization tools can help you to create a high quality, semantically rich content that help you rank higher in Google using similar NLP algorithm as Google. They identify keywords, subtopics, synonyms, and common questions that search engine are looking for. This, like the result of using such a content tool optimization, we have some old article, and we have for this article our main keyword. 1 second, I will remember. It's like called Surfer SEO. Yes, it's called Surfer SEO. You can go there, you can choose a content report, you load in your keyword there, and this tool provides you a brief for your copywriter. Then we increased words on our page from 500 to 1,500. We use probably all keywords that Surfer SEO offer us, and with the increasing in impressions for these websites. We have average impression for this page like 100, 200 per day. And then after we implement our new text and using Google indexing API, we send information to Googlebot that we change our text. We see increasing on 20 or I don't remember, 20-25% in impressions, and some increase in clicks, but clicks it's like only 10%. So the next one, it should be rich snippets. We can create a rich snippets like on this screenshot using schema markup. Schema, it's like a vocabulary that allow us to provide a microdata for many types of projects. It's like local business, it's like FAQ pages, it's for news, for products. Here we see it's schema for products, and there is a beautiful picture, and it's look better for user when he search for dresses in this case and see pictures and increasing our CTR. So, and Google also love rich snippets because it helps crawlers to understand better your page. And also if user clicks on your websites, it helps your CTR and it helps your user experience. The next one is long-term content. Google likes to rank high quality content, although content length is not a ranking factor. There is a strong correlation between longer content and better rankings. As we see here, so the average length of the content from the 2nd place to the 5th place. And it's because long content is more likely to display the EIT signals that Google associates with the quality, such as in-depth content, original research, and analysis. Also, in some niches, it should be expert authorship and sourcing. As Google continues to improve their NLP algorithm, it will keep getting better and recognizing quality. So take the time to provide your comprehensive information on the keywords you're targeting, and you'll likely see higher keywords ranking and higher average position in your Google Search Console. The democratization of search, it's like Google is much better at recognizing content quality and page experience signals on the web pages. The role of authority will not play a significant role in the coming years. So backlinks and domain authority will still be essential to ranking well in 2022. Search is becoming a more democratic place. Here we see that authority was the priority in 2000, and right now on the previous 2020, we see that authority is decreasing and UX, content and performance increasing. Also, you can use a different search engines because we know except the Google, we have Bing, we have Yahoo, we have Baidu, also we have DuckDuckGo, and a new search engine will launch from Apple. Google is the most frequently used search engine worldwide right now, but in China, Baidu was the most used search engine as a report of December 2021. Probably 86% of Chinese users in the country use it. In other countries like Japan and Mexico, people use Yahoo along with the Google. In 2029, 55% of respondents in Japan said that they used Yahoo in the past 4 weeks. In the same year, over the 30% of users in Mexico said that they used Yahoo also. Bing, operated by Microsoft, was the second most popular search engine in United Kingdom after the Google. As we can read the report of September 2021, Bing has probably 10% share of the market in the country, with the Google have more than 85% share. So here we see right now worldwide, Google is 85%, Bing is like 8%, Yahoo is like 3%, Baidu 0.5%. So that's all that I want to talk with you today. It was the best SEO trends for the business and for the websites owners. As Google said to us that we need to work on our content part, and then we need to provide a quality link building, and link building, the hardest way to get more and more quality backlinks, because now a lot of specialists from Pakistan and from India on US marketing provides a lot of websites with a high DR that the specialists check, and with the high organic traffic. But this organic traffic from Pakistan and India on the US market, and it's not a good quality to spend money on. So if you buy and collect backlinks, you need to check every metrics and every type of the traffic which these websites get, and then spend money to get the backlinks from this website.
Okay, so thank you so much. Lyosha, I have one question for you. So you told us these major SEO trends, but you've mentioned that you used them mostly for your media websites, yes, for your I don't know, news websites and etc. If you are talking about the e-commerce project, so should we also use these instruments, or they are all only for the content websites? So what is your advice on this particular question?
A part of these tools you can also use for e-commerce websites. E-commerce websites, you need to optimize your probably filter pages, you need to optimize your schema markup, you need to generate a lot of new landing pages to get a lot of traffic for a low query keywords. And maybe you can generate text for that pages using these SEO tools that can help us.
You've mentioned about the tool, like people also ask. So as far as I understood, it's like gathering the similar keywords to your topic and use it on your content strategy, yes? Or it's all about the creating Q&A sessions, just using all these questions of the users placed before. For them, and you are like choosing the most common ones and put it in either your blog and to your Q&A, I don't know, additional page, and that's why you will get more traffic.
People also ask blog, help us to create a schema like a FAQ blog. If you see that on your main keywords you have these. People also ask blog, you can get questions from this blog and answer on your page for these keywords, and increase the quality of the content of your page, and you can increase low frequency keywords on your page, like because when you will answer on the questions, you will use probably some of your long tail keywords, and it should help your page. So you need to use it together, these questions, and answer on your page.
So you just gather these common questions, yes, and put the answers on your FAQ page, and then that's why you are like using this demand.
Yes.
On this. Yeah. Okay, that's pretty cool. The 2022 year is a year of the content strategy for SEO specialists. So maybe you like have some advices or some particular I don't know milestones on which should SEO specialists take a look on in this year. So like your own list of the most important things in 2022 for the SEO specialist.
The content part, I used a Surfer SEO. It's like AI that generates a brief for the copywriter. And then I collect most common questions for my article or for my category, or we can say we provide some service like a 3D staging. It's like a 3D virtualization. And if you research this niche, you will see that on the main page there is a lot of questions and answers on it on the footer of the page. So the first that we should provide, it's like use Surfer SEO to provide content for our content specialists, and you need to hire a specialist from US, because when you write the text in English in Canada, in United Kingdom, and in United States, there is a difference, probably 10 or 15%, but it should be different because people speak in English, but they use different language. They use different words for some, I don't know, for some sentences, or maybe some use a flat in United States and no, it's flat in United Kingdom, and in the United States it's called apartment. So that's why you need to hire a local content manager. Then you send him brief, and you need to collect local questions which are people looking for, and so it should be easy to get better ranking if you use this software in this way.
Okay, one more question is from Victoria. What do you think about the link strategies in 2022? So is there any ways of getting links? Is it still effective strategy to getting links for the SEO of your website?
Yes, I don't understand which strategy, but
link to get
no, but there is a lot of backlink strategy. For example, guest posting, link insertion. You can provide podcasts. You can generate maybe some blogs, but it works bad. So the best way for US marketing is a guest post. You collect a database of the websites in your niche. Then you choose blogs with quality traffic and with the quality websites. Then you send them letters, and you can find the best way to get a link. You can provide an article for them, and they will submit it, but probably they will ask you to pay for a link for guest posts on their websites. Also, you can find some articles that have a good traffic with your competitors. You can use for it a link intersection in Ahrefs and see where is the most of your competitors get backlinks. Then you see that this article is for link intersection, and you write to that website that you want to also to add some text on this page, and also to get a backlink. Sometimes it also helps you. And the last one trend that I want to say, you can find drop domains and get backlinks from the main page. It's the best way to get a good link juice for your website.
What about social media? About using, like, for example, LinkedIn? It affects to the search engine optimization of the website, or it's like the separate strategy about the brand awareness only?
It's a separate strategy about the brand awareness. I don't think that it can help for SEO. I don't use it.
Okay, thanks so much. Okay, thank you for your time. Thank you for the major key points in 2022 for the SEO specialists. It was very useful. I wish you a good day and see you soon at Netpeak.
Thank you. Have a good day too. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Goodbye. So for now, we'll take a little break for 20 minutes just to catch the breeze and maybe to write down all our thoughts about our first speakers. And after 20 minutes, we will meet two more speakers from the SendPulse about the email marketing strategy, and from the RadASO about the App Store optimization. So, and I also want to remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, so don't miss our upcoming events, and to get the access to our past events about digital marketing totally for free of charge, and follow our social media channels, LinkedIn and Instagram, to get into our new articles about the digital marketing from our Netpeak journal. This is one of the biggest digital library for the specialists in Ukraine and CIS and in Europe and the world countries. Okay, so see you in 20 minutes. Take a break. Let's go to the break. Hi everyone, we are back now from the short break, and I'm happy to introduce our next speaker. This is Igor from the SendPulse company, and he will share with us the most common ways how to work with the email strategy and how privacy updates affect the emails and how to adopt it, and the websites like email campaigns and design trends. So even for me, it's very interesting and tricky question. So, and ins and outs of leveraging the chatbots into the email strategy. So, Ihar, nice to meet you, and welcome to our conference. So turn the floor over you. So please keep start.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm here today to talk about email marketing. We marketers have been sending emails for decades, and frankly speaking, not much is changing in that sphere. Still, I want to explore some recent trends and give you some tips. Depending on your experience with email marketing, you may find some things familiar, but I will not just describe them, but also tell you how to use them like in real life. But first, a few words about myself and why am I here talking about email marketing. I joined SendPulse back in 2015 when the company was founded. And at that time, it was a purely email marketing service provider. So the marketing team was small, and I had to wear multiple hats, doing a lot of things from writing copy to threading on product management ground and offering improvements in the product. And over the years, we added new products to our suite, including text messaging, chatbots, landing pages, and recently our own CRM. So SendPulse have become an all-in-one solution for everything needed to communicate with customers. But email marketing was always and still is a core of our offering. So let's get straight to the practical tips. And I want to start with something you might have missed or didn't pay attention to. The matter is that the email open rates have become pretty much useless thing to track in 2022. As marketers, we got used to measuring email success with open rates. Obviously, a high open rate means that your subject line is working great and your emails engage more people. And when the open rate goes down, it means trouble and something needs to be fixed. But that have changed. And our thanks go to Apple. People have more and more concerns over privacy, and Apple decided to make a welcome feature. It introduced mail privacy protection back in September of 2021. Users actually loved it, and we can safely assume that a huge majority of Apple customers opted in for better privacy protection. I mean, why wouldn't they? So they are able to turn off email open tracking, hide IP addresses, hide the even email address. One needs a paid plan for that called iCloud Plus, but still, it's an option. Sounds great, right? But it makes the lives of marketers a lot harder. They cannot analyze open tags, geolocation, or device usage for users who opt into mail privacy protection. So you really won't know if your subscribers are really opening your emails or not, because the content of the email, including that small tracking pixel, is preloaded, even if the recipient hasn't opened the email yet. But how big is Apple? Actually, the top 3 most popular email clients from in March 2022 are Apple, Gmail, and Outlook. Like Apple accounts for 60% of all email opens, followed by Gmail with 26%. And Outlook is the next most commonly used email client with about only 4% of all opens. And each month, since the launch of MPP, Apple's share has been increasing from 51% in October to 60% in March. You would say that's only iOS 15. And actually, the matter is that the privacy update is working only iOS 15 and iPad OS, but Apple users update their devices often. So iOS 15 is installed on 89% of all iPhones and 79% of all iPads, at least recent ones introduced in the last 4 years. This data is actually from the Apple website, and it's valid as of May 2022. Here's what you can do to adapt your strategy to succeed after Apple privacy updates. First, you need to change the way you measure the success of your email campaigns. It's best for your email marketing to concentrate on clicks while also monitoring the percentage of bounces, unsubscribes, and conversions. If you are selling anything online, make sure you track the total sales amounts with Google Analytics. Consider creating an audience of non-Apple users to enhance your reporting. Remember that mail privacy protection won't affect all of your clients, so you can still get reliable tracking data from other companies like Microsoft or Google if they don't announce similar privacy changes. Then try to obtain location data directly from your contacts. You can use sign-up forms, surveys, and save the data into your CRM. You can also use surveys to get customer feedback and learn about their interests, needs, and preferences. And think about updating your automated emails if you have one. So if opening an email was the trigger, get started using another email. Try changing the trigger to clicks as a more accurate engagement metric. So if the trigger is did not open, then send an email. Consider changing that to did not click, and then send a different email flow. And the last, thinking about updating your method to run A/B tests. Traditionally, we are running A/B tests with clicks in mind. So whichever email gets more opens, that email is better. Instead, try implementing click rates because those tests will have more accurate results. And remember that open rates are not your only engagement metrics. So instead, focus on click rates and conversions. This privacy update doesn't affect the deliverability of our emails, so accurate click rates will still be reported. And my tip number 2 is interactive emails. This trend is not really new, but it keeps developing and growing strongly in 2022. A key component of interactive emails is that recipients can interact with an email content without leaving their inbox. Subscribers can add items to their shopping cart, book a hotel room, take a quiz, or watch a video directly in their inbox. As a result, these emails attract customers' attention and boost engagement. Let's take a look at some specific interactive email elements that we're seeing in 2022. The easiest method you can make your emails more engaging is adding videos or GIFs Subscribers click the animation and they are redirected to your website. Like most email service providers, including SendPulse, make adding animations or videos to your emails very easy. No coding skills required. However, you will still need some design skills or to hire someone with such skills. And I will share the tools and resources for that later. If you're using videos, make sure your video file is short, defaults to mute, and adds value to your main message. A more advanced way to add interaction to your emails is creating an AMP version of your email. AMP stands for Accelerated Mobile Pages. In fact, your email becomes a web page, and people can really interact with that page. Here's what AMP for email can be used for, like scrolling a carousel, using accordion feature to make long-form emails more compact, adding items to a cart, filling a form in an email, taking part in polls and quizzes right in the inbox, and even answering to comments in an email. You have probably seen that in Google document updates. So there are definitely advantages of using AMP emails, like ability to add more information without overwhelming. You can add several products to one email using a compact carousel or accordion to not overload the customer with information. And it's easy to use, easy to make, reducing the number of customer steps to conversion. The technology actually saves users time and allows them to purchase, book, or fill a form directly through email. Then, basically, you can stand out in a competitive environment. Like if you have a high ratio of Gmail users, email marketing is very important for sales, and you work for a larger brand, AMP emails may be worth a shot. But there are certain issues with the AMP though. You basically create another version of the same email, and you are doing it using code, not a drag and drop builder. Your emails can have a wow effect, but they take like a lot more time. The email sender needs to submit a whitelist request to Google and Yahoo. They may not approve it right away if your sample email is not production ready, like your brand is unknown or some technical reasons. So it will take some time and effort. And the main issue is that Apple Mail does not support AMP. So if you remember one of the previous slides, Apple Mail is used by over 60% of all email subscribers. So until Apple starts supporting AMP, the technology will be a pretty niche thing. And only about like 50% of your subscribers will have a chance to enjoy that kind of interactivity. So how you can make your emails interactive? Like the safest bet, start using animated images in GIF format. They're working in all email clients and can be a breath of fresh air for your old-time customers and a great experience for new ones. If you're on good terms with design software, check out Adobe Animate. Or just go and hire someone on Fiverr to do an animation for you. I compiled a list of resources, including links to AMP documentation if you have the time and engineers to try it. They will be at the end of this slide deck. And my next tip is combining email marketing with what Meta calls conversational marketing or chatbots. In today's fast-paced world, customers expect a brand to have like 24/7 online presence and don't like being put on hold. Therefore, chatbots become an efficient tool to initiate a personalized chat within seconds. Chatbots can answer as much as 80% of all standard questions, receive payments, describe products, schedule meetings, and help customers outside of the business hours. Using chatbots, complemented by email marketing, can significantly improve lead generation and customer support. Chatbots can be the first point of contact in the process of lead generation. For example, it can offer assistance with the products or services and ask for a user's email address in a conversational manner. Then you can nurture leads with a series of emails. Here you can see an example of asking for an email in the Instagram chatbot flow. Okay. Chatbots not only collect contacts for email marketing, but can help further with audience segmentation. Like they identify users' needs by asking questions or using prompts. As a result, you can get more insight into your customers' preferences. For instance, you can use a short survey to ask users what products they're looking for, like what price range they're comfortable with, and more. Considering all privacy restrictions, you can use chatbots to ask some important personal information, such as date of birth, location, and save users' data to a CRM. The conversational manner of collecting data means that your visitors will be more likely to share their information with you. Here is an example of the WhatsApp chatbot for Westervilla Hotel in Amsterdam, created in the SendPulse chatbot builder. This flow provides the guest with full information before they arrive. Okay, suppose you created a chatbot, but how you make people aware that you have it? You can get more chatbot subscribers by combining emails and chatbots. Like you can create a multi-channel subscription form for your website. And using this form, you can collect users' addresses, email addresses, and offer them to join your chatbot on Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, or Instagram Direct Messenger at the same time. You can also add links to chatbots in your emails, like offer your subscribers to use your chatbot to get relevant information, again, on the WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, or Instagram. And the next option is to add a chatbot widget to your website to enhance your lead generation efforts and customer support. The next trend that is particularly hot is the importance of personalization. Customers are concerned about the data collected by the business, but when they do agree to provide their personal information, they expect that the brand will use it for a better, more personalized service. And lack of personalization can have bad effects on the outcome of your campaigns. Subscribers may unsubscribe, categorize emails as spam, delete them. So, according to a recent study, 38% of recipients in UK said that personalization was something that made an email very memorable. Now, to provide top-notch personalized campaigns, try to gather as much information as possible about your customers using different channels. Divide your audience into segments, and only then offer them your products or services. And automation. Marketers can more easily integrate personalization into their email strategies using automated journey management. Automation can be combined with personalization by sending out birthday emails or triggered emails based on a consumer's behavior. Specific actions taken by users activate the trigger sequence, and all the necessary information comes in drips without overloading the recipients. The triggers can be like abandoned cart, registration on your website, a purchase, like any other meaningful event. Another big trend is adding user-generated content to email marketing campaigns. User-generated content is any form of content generated by the end users, like reviews, videos, some photos. And the use of user-generated content is beneficial to both parties, and companies and users. The company benefits from fantastic amount of fresh ideas and unique content. To users, the creation of user-generated content allows them to collaborate with their favorite brand, express themselves creatively, get various rewards and discounts for it, and even make some small changes in the company. Let's check some types of user-generated content. According to Statista, like 36% of online shoppers read at least one review before making a decision to purchase. And only 8% claim they don't have a habit of reading customer reviews before buying. So the answer is obvious: customer reviews. Make sure you ask your clients to write a review and add those reviews to your emails to boost loyalty and conversion, like Calmary and other brands who reassure leads by showing that other people have had a fantastic experience with their products. In this case, the company added to the email real photos to deliver the atmosphere of vacation through the emotions of real people. Social proof has a strong influence on people, and with the help of it, you can significantly expand your audience. People tend to believe other people more than brands and companies. And the user-generated content allows you to not only strengthen relations with existing customers, but also to reach new users, because people may forward your great email to their friends and family. And tip number 6, check out the latest design trends. From my perspective, the latest trends from 2022 are animated collages, neon and dark mode, wavy lines, mixed media, simplicity, and dividing lines. Let's take a close look at each of these trends. Many trends resonate with the interactive emails trends that I mentioned earlier. Animated collage is a simple way to liven up your campaigns with more images while saving space at the same time. To create a collage, simply combine multiple images into one with any design software. Neon colors stand out more on dark backgrounds and emphasize the main message, but use neon for elements only, and avoid neon colored backgrounds, as they can be like an eyesore. And the curves captivate the eye, tying the entire composition together and generating more flow and more movement. Mixing illustrations, effects, and animations make emails look more exciting and engaging. This is a great way to make your campaign original, stand out from the crowd, and attract users' attention. As people are bombarded with emails every day, this trend eases the burden by going straight to the point and looking good at the same time. This trend combines minimalism and pastel colors. Dividing line. This trend often uses thick black lines to create a grid or individual boxes, making an email easier to scan without it looking crowded. And still, we have some time, so I will share some bonus tips. These are like few really important things for email marketing. Needless to mention, your email marketing strategy must include mobile optimization techniques to capture the audience where you are most likely to find them. And recipients want to have a clear idea of what an email is all about before they even open it. So, which is where subject line comes in. So I suggest you create a short, catchy subject lines that capture attention. Try getting your point across in about 5 words. Use personalization and don't overuse urgency. Avoid clickbait and hard sell tactics. I found a few emails from my inbox and wanted to share with you. Like in this example, it's pretty personalized. It doesn't mention my email, but it mentions my profession, and it's likely that it will bring attention of digital marketers. Like make it short, like Loom. Recipients don't like emails that are too long, wordy, not very concise. However, emails without content and only images are also of no interest to recipients. The general consensus is that an email should contain some content, but not too much. Make your emails crisp and to the point. As soon as your readers open the email, let them know why your email is relevant to them. And because of the F-shaped visual template that many readers use, you can have the best opportunities to grab their attention with your early content. Here you can immediately see who is writing, what they offer, and when it's going to happen. The email content should be simple and easy to scan. Subscribers don't have time to read plain text, and markers, space, and call to actions to structure the content. Unfortunately, the video is not loading. But it's okay. And here I compiled a list of resources that I used to prepare my presentation. And if you scan this QR code and, or go to the link, you can see here, you can download this list of resources and maybe use it for your own campaigns. Thank you.
Igor, thank you so much for such a cool trends in the email marketing, and the team is on a high top, especially on the in the UK markets and the US markets. And we have some questions from our guests. The first one is from Anna. So you've mentioned that MP emails we should use only for Yahoo and Google, because definitely Apple doesn't, like, I don't know, took it and you can't see it, so it's forbidden for them. So how much time, how long does it take to be approved for the Google and for the Yahoo to such a kind of these emails, I mean AMP?
Actually, those AMP emails are developed by Google, and I guess that Apple just doesn't like adopting something developed by their competitors.
Yes, sure.
But Google teamed up with Yahoo, with mail.ru, and a couple of smaller brands, and they compiled all the documentation, and they even created one Google form that sends AMP approval requests to 3 companies. And Google says that they are trying to approve those requests within 5 working days. And we have seen a bit longer times, but generally within a week and a half or 2 weeks, you will get a reply.
Like 10 working days.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, we have also one question from Max. So where should we get the information for email designs So is it necessary to follow the company, the corporate branding style nowadays, or we should just to go through our design, I don't know, campaigns and to make everything what we want according to our imagination?
Okay. For email designs, the best thing I found is a website called Really Good Emails. And there are like smaller competitors. Well, when I find some really good product, I go to like product name alternative, and you get even more ideas. So there are like best sales emails and some other smaller products, and you can browse through them and see what you like best and get some ideas. I think that it's not very good idea to copy it, but probably get some ideas to add to your existing campaigns. And as for the brand style, it's pretty important to be consistent. So all your emails should be in one style, so that a user gets one more email. He recognizes that this is not some spam email, that he received a similar email before, and it's okay. And keeping the same style is important. Just spice it up with some new things, new approaches.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your insights for the email marketing strategies for 2022. It was nice to meet you, and I wish you a great day. Thank you, Igor.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you.
Okay, we have our last but not the least speaker. He's also my colleague from the Netpeak group. It's Alexander Lozenko. He's the Chief Executive Officer at our RadASO company, and he will share with us the information about the apps. So how to boost application organic visibility, and he will the key milestones of this topic are like what is ACO and why it's important, and how to grow up app via ACO. So it's like SEO or not. Top 5 tips to grow your app visibility. So we will talk about the titles, we'll talk about the subtitles and the keywords, and he will tell us about the cross localizations, the screenshots optimizations, and how to use Apple search as a data source for the ACO. So hi Sasha, are you here?
Yes.
Hi. Yeah,
Hello.
hi.
How are you doing?
Yes, pretty good. And how are you?
Oh, fine. Everything is fine, and I'm glad to be here to have this possibility, have this opportunity to speak about mobile app marketing, to speak about App Store optimization. So let's start.
Over to you, Sasha.
Can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Okay, so hi guys, my name is Alex. I am CEO of Netpeak RadASO. At Netpeak RadASO, we are working with applications to increase mobile visibility, applications visibility, to increase number of installations. We're working with App Store optimization. We're working with Apple Search Ads. We're working with localization, with performance marketing for mobile applications. But you know, today you had heard about previous topics about search engine optimization and pay-per-click advertising, which is about search. It's about web search, about acquisition, people using like search like Google. So my topic will be also about search, but about search inside App Store, because you know it's like pretty, in some cases, let's say similar, but I think that it's pretty interesting because you know a lot of people are using mobile applications, mobile like penetration is really very high. So App Store optimization, I think it's something more new. And today I will not talk more about myself and about our clients. I will start from presentation because I have really a lot of content. So let's begin. And let's start from like the most basics to understand what we are talking about. You know, when you have an application and somebody need to download your application, people can go by the link from your site to, for example, App Store or Google Play or other app market. But people can like find some link in your website. People can find link to your product page on App Store in social media. For example, you can work with paid user acquisition from, for example, Google Universal Campaign, etc., etc. But you know, more than half of users will download your application only after for searching inside App Store or Google Play. So when we are talking about App Store optimization, which is pretty similar to search engine optimization, we have like two main goals. We need to increase app visibility. So more people will discover your application, and we need to increase conversion rate from view to installation. So, you know, combination of these two factors of high visibility and high conversion rate will give you a big amount of installations, what is really a goal for all the applications. So App Store optimization is like pretty similar to search engine optimization, and we just need to work with some, you know, like product page elements to increase your app visibility, and it's like pretty similar. If we are talking about statistics, so 65% of Android users and 43% of 65% of iOS users and 43% of Android users will install the application only by searching for it. So it's really a huge amount. That's why, you know, you need to use one of two tools to attract these clients. First of all is organic about App Store optimization, and second one is Apple Search Ads, which is pretty similar to Google Paid Search, but inside Apple Store. For Google Play, you have Google Universal Campaigns, but you know there are some problems because in Google Universal Campaigns, you couldn't like show your advertising only inside Google Play. You will show your advertising inside Google Play, inside Google Search, inside Google Display Network, inside YouTube. So in a lot of places, Google will decide. But if you're talking about Apple Search Ads, which is pretty cool tool, so you can show your advertising inside App Store and you can get really good results. So now I will try to speak about two most important things, what you really can do, what is, I think that it's pretty easy to do, and to increase your app visibility. And recommendation number one is to create your app title using brand name and specific search terms, which can describe your application, what is about. For example, you can see the screen of Nike Running Club. It's an application of like running coach. And now I just want to remember that we are talking about App Store. It's screen from App Store product page. And you can see highlighted the title of application. In App Store, we have 30 characters limit to create our page title. And the best formula to create page title is to use your app brand name and to use some specific search terms which can describe your application. So of course, you need to use the keywords with the highest search volume, which in App Store called search ads popularity. So really good example, I really like it, of Nike Running Club running coach, because you know you have like both of brand name and category description. And I will show you an examples of a good and a bad app titles, because I think in this way you will better understand what I'm talking about. For example, we have an application Zip. I even don't remember what is this application about, but you know, when you have only your brand name in your app title, now looking on these screenshots, we can say what is this application about. It's like some application about like tracker of our activities, or maybe it's another application about, I don't know, cryptocurrency or trading or something like that. So it's not only important for people, for us to understand what is about this application, but it's also, of course, important for Apple to understand and to show this application by some specific keyword. So it's like a bad example and a great example about Nike Running Club, running coach. So I just want to repeat that we have like brand name, we have some specific category keywords. We need to identify these keywords by providing for some keywords research to understand how people are searching for our application, how people, what needs has our users, and we need to cover it in app title. But app title is the most powerful ranking element in App Store, so you need to have your app title really created great, and it will influence on your app installation, increase of app installations. So recommendation number 2. You need to optimize your app subtitle to increase visibility within additional keywords. You know, you have not only your app title, but you have also subtitle, which has also 30 characters limit. And of course, you need to use other specific keywords to describe what is your application about. But very important thing is that you don't need to create duplication of keywords. So for example, if you have word app in your subtitle, you don't need to use this word in title, because you will not get twice higher ranking, or you will not have any boost on your ranking. So, you know, you need to use words in your app title and to add additional, but not the same words in your subtitle. And in this way, you will cover twice more keywords and your application will get twice higher ranking and higher visibility. So, subtitle is the second most powerful field in App Store, and you always need to work with it. And I will show you some examples. For example, a bad example is an example of GPS watch workout. You can see subtitle Utsiri. I even don't know what does it mean, guys. Maybe you know, but maybe it's some specific words, how people are searching for this application in some region. It can be, but you know, I see that this application used only 5 or 6 characters, but they had more characters to add additional keywords and to get boost on visibility. And a good example of subtitles is an example of Nike Running Club. You can see this subtitle, workout app and distance tracker. So it's really great combination of title and subtitle, and you need to use it to increase your app visibility. Okay, recommendation number 3. Don't forget about cross-localization, and I will show you some cases. I think that cross-localization is the most powerful and interesting thing to increase your app visibility and number of installation. Because, you know, when we're talking about classic search engine optimization, we need that if people are searching for something in Spanish, you need to have Spanish language version. If people are searching for something in English, so you need to have English language version. But App Store works in a little bit different way, because in App Store, we have 39 localization worldwide. And the most interesting thing is that in some countries, we have not only one localization, we have more than one. For example, in Ukraine, we have Russian localization, Ukrainian, and English UK. And if we are talking about such countries as the United States, we have 5 localization: English, Spanish, Arabic, Russian, and Chinese. So, for example, when you have application for the United States, you don't need to optimize only one English US localization. You can optimize all 5 localization, and you can use one of 2 main strategies. Strategy number 1 is pretty, let's say, classic. If you understand that people are searching for your application in English, in Spanish, in Russian, so you need to create your app title, app subtitle, keywords, app description, and everything in English for this localization. And for Spanish localization, you need to create everything in Spanish. For Russian localization, you need to create everything in Russian. But it's like one of the strategies. Other interesting strategy, which is, I think, not such popular, but works really very good, is strategy when you can use all of these 5 localization and you can optimize all of them using English keywords. So in this way, for example, when you have application for the United States and you see a big search volume, a lot of keywords in English, you can create your app title, subtitle, and keywords for English US localization, like one set of metadata. For Spanish localization, you can create another set of metadata, but using different words. In this way, you will get like 2 localization good optimized, but 2 of localization will contain English words. So it's a good strategy, and you need to use it. Going by using this QR code, you can go to our Google Docs and we have all the list of available localization for all the countries that you see. And for example, when you have application only for one country, you need to always understand which localization you have for this country. If you have a worldwide application, so you just need to prioritize this localization and optimize all of them by going from the most interesting markets from markets with highest revenue, highest number of installations, highest searches popularity, amount of keywords. So going in this way. And I will show you 2 case studies just to understand how powerful is app localization. For example, OLX is Ukrainian-based application, one of the biggest online marketplaces for Ukraine. And we started to work with OLX. The goal was to increase app visibility and number of installations. And we had seen that this application has only optimized only Russian localization, because it's pretty smart. A lot of people in Ukraine are speaking in Russian. They are searching for information in Russian. So the guys from OLX provided optimization only for Russian localization. But they missed optimization of Ukrainian localization and English localization. So we made like pretty simple thing. We optimized additional English UK localization and Ukrainian localization, and we got 74% increase in visibility in one day during the update of new metadata sets. So, guys, cross-localization is really very powerful tool. So I recommend always to use like the document which I had shared before by the QR code, and you always need to understand which localizations you can and you need to optimize for the country. And if we are talking about worldwide application, is I think much easier because in case of measuring type is like an application which using ARKit technology to measure distance from 2 points, to measure distance, for example, of the table. So these applications, we provided optimization for all the world, and we provided optimization of all 39 localization. And in several months, we get increase of installations from 0 to 20,000 installations per month, which is really a good result, because this is application with not a high search volume, search popularity. So we get results in a lot of countries, and we get really an incredible increase of installations. So cross-localization is not only for optimization for some countries when you have like local application, is also for all the world, and I really recommend you to use this thing. Recommendation number 4, you need to optimize your screenshots to increase conversion rate. When your application has really a good visibility, and for example, you already has 1,000 or 2,000 or 10,000 installations per month, you need to start to work with visual app store optimization. When I say visual app store optimization, I'm talking about app screenshots, which you can see on the screen, and I'm talking about app icon. But of course, app screenshots is the most powerful tool to increase conversion rate. And for example, when you have applications with 10,000 installations per month, and you can increase app conversion from view to installation from 2% till 4%, you can increase volume of installations from 10,000 till 20,000. So it's really powerful instrument. You need to work with visual app store optimization, but you need to do it only when you already have a high visibility and a big number of installation. When you have 10 installation on or 20 installation or 100 installations per month, you don't need to work with visual app store optimization, because like you will spend a lot of time, money, and your resources, and you will not get such significant increase of total number of installations. Some general recommendation, for example, to create a good screenshots, first of all, you need to analyze your competitors, and you need to analyze how your customers are searching for your application. During this analysis, you need to create some hypothesis list. For example, you need to create hypothesis based on competitors. For example, you can say, maybe if I will add somebody on a first screenshot, it will impact increasing of screenshots. Or maybe if I will change the background color of my screenshots from yellow to green, it will also impact on increase of conversion rate. You need to create the list of all these hypotheses. And when you have the list of these hypotheses, you need to test each of hypotheses. You need to you don't need to implement all of the ideas at the same time. You need to understand, for example, you need to change only the background of your screenshots. You need to run A/B testing, and you need to answer the question, is this really this implementation has a positive impact on conversion rate? Or maybe I even have some false on conversion rate and it's a bad idea to use it. So I want to say, guys, that if we're talking about screenshots is not about creativity. Screenshots is about numbers, about a lot of A/B testing, and about a lot of research of your competitors. And I will show you some examples of good and bad screenshots. For example, the same app, GPS Watch Workout, you can see only 2 screenshots on your screen. And on the first screenshot, you can see some workouts list. On the second screenshot, you can see only the map of like tracker of running or of cycling or of other activities. And these screenshots, they are not pretty, they not looks pretty good. And another example, an example of Nike Running Club, you can see really a great screenshots. You can see like that every screenshots like describe some idea. For example, your guide to a better run, guided runs, track runs, tracking plans, join challenges. And people, when they are looking on these screenshots, it's very clear and they understand all features of these applications, and they can say, oh, cool, I really want to track my performance results, or some recommendations is, or some training plans is what I really need, and I will install this application. So it's a good example of application. And when, for example, if you will see applications, if you will see screenshots of some big really application. For example, a few days ago we were discussing screenshots of TikTok. You will find that in different countries, TikTok has pretty different screenshots, but different because they are testing like different ways of creating screenshots. They understand that content consumption in different countries is pretty different. For example, people in China and people in Ukraine and people in United States, people in United Kingdom, people in Spain can their consumption of content is pretty different. So they need to test and they need to optimize and they need to create hypotheses for all the market and to get really the best results. And number 5, the thing which maybe looks like it's not relevant because we are talking about Apple search ads, and Apple search ads is about paid advertising. It's not about organic. But you know, guys, a big problem in App Store optimization is that we have really a lack of data. For example, in search engine optimization, in pay-per-click advertising in Google Ads, we have really a lot of data. We have a lot of tools to analyze our competitors, to see some results, to track how people are, what people are doing inside our website, and a lot of information. And if we are talking about search engine optimization, we have really a lack of data. And Apple Search Ads is the best source of data for our App Store. First of all, let's speak what is Apple Search Ads. Apple Search Ads, it's something pretty similar to Google paid search, but inside Apple Store market. So when you are typing for some keywords, for example, when you are searching for a running application, and somebody want to promote their application, they can get in the first position and pay for each step to the application. You know, in Apple it called steps, but it's pretty similar to clicks in Google Ads. The idea is the same, but the other name. So using Apple Search Ads, we can increase and we can attract new customers. We can attract new installation pretty fast, but we will pay for each step to our application. And our Apple Search Ads campaign can help us in 2 ways. First of all, you can use Apple Search Ads discovery campaigns. You can create discovery campaigns inside Apple Search Ads to find new search terms. It's a good strategy, you know, when you are working with some exact keywords to increase your number of installations, but you also need to create discovery campaign with a broad match of keywords. And in this way, you will find really cool, amazing keywords with low competition, which will attract you a lot of installations. And another thing that you can find the most valuable search terms using Apple Search Ads. For example, you can understand that some of keywords has much higher conversion rate from view to installation. That means, for example, when you have 2 keywords with the same visibility, but for example, one keyword has 10% conversion rate and another keyword has 40% conversion rate. With the same visibility, you will get 4 times more installations using in your App Store optimization strategy keywords with a high value with high conversion rate. Let's see in some examples. I understand that like it's pretty a lot of information, but I will explain it's like pretty easy. We launched campaign for Germany, discovery campaign to find new keywords. And we found some interesting keyword MIPIO. MIPIO is like the competitor of our application, but you know, we are talking about Apple, we are talking about Apple Store and about Apple Search Ads. But this competitor is absent. The application of this competitor is absent in App Store. So this application is available only in Google Play. So, you know, a lot of people will go to App Store to search for this application because maybe they knew about this application, maybe somebody told that it's a cool application, but now they will not find the application inside Apple Store. So it's pretty easy and a cool strategy to take these keywords and to implement it in our App Store optimization strategy. Because if you're talking about App Store, we have keywords field. Keywords field is one of the ranking factors in App Store. You can add up to 100 characters, a lot of words in your App Store optimization strategy for each of localization, and nobody will see which keywords are you using. So you will get significantly increase of visibility for the brand name of your competitor, but it would be invisible for everybody, for your other competitors, and you will just get a lot of installation using this keyword. And number two, when you have a lot of keywords, you have keywords with a different conversion rate. In this screen, you can see conversion rate from view to installations from 10% till 46%. So the idea is pretty simple. You should work with keywords with the highest conversion rate, because these keywords will give you the biggest value and the biggest number of installation. So you need to analyze these results, and you need to use Apple Search Ads as a data source for your App Store optimization campaign. And it's like a summary of my presentation, all of 5 recommendations. Let's say it's a checklist, what you need to do, like the most important things. You can do much more things to optimize your application in App Store, because I was not talking, for example, about in-app events. I was not talking about keywords optimization, about keywords field, about other things. But the most interesting thing what you can do easily and significantly increase your app visibility is number 1 recommendation. You need to create your app title using brand name and additional specific search terms which will describe the category and some keywords with high search volume, with high search ads popularity. Number 2, you need to optimize always your subtitle to increase visibility by additional keywords. Have you had seen on an example of GPS tracker, they even didn't use the subtitle and they added like some strange word, but you need to do it because it's a really powerful ranking element. You guys never need to forget about cross-localization as a really high performing and a magical thing which can increase your app visibility and increase coverage of relevant keywords. You need to work with screenshots with visual app store optimization, but you need to do it when your application already has a big number of installation. Even screenshots has influence not only in app store optimization, not only in organic traffic. You will have you will see increase in conversion even in your Apple Search Ads, Facebook, Google Universal campaigns, and on all traffic sources which you will use to attract customers to your product page in App Store. So you need to work with your screenshots. And idea number 5, you need to use Apple Search Ads as a data source for your App Store optimization campaign. Not a lot of people are saying about Apple Search Ads as a part of App Store optimization, but we are using it in a lot of cases, in a lot of projects, and it's really a good combination of 2 channels, of 2 tools to get much higher result. So this combination is really very cool. And the last thing, if you want to optimize your application and you want to know really about something interesting, not about the most basics of App Store optimization. So you guys need to subscribe to our App Store optimization channel, RadASO Telegram channel. Our channel is the biggest Telegram community related to App Store optimizations. So you need definitely to subscribe and you will get the best information, the best experiments, and we have really a lot of life hacks there which you will never find in other sources. So thank you guys. I hope that all this time I was speaking with you, that I hadn't not problems with internet and I hadn't speak with my PC. And if you have some questions, you can ask me.
No, Sasha, everything was perfect. We have two questions, even three. One is from him. The first one is from Alex. Are those recommendations relevant to the Google Play Store? Because you've mentioned only about the App Store.
In Google Play, you have some other elements which is important. For example, in Google Play, you don't have subtitle and keyword field, but you have other elements like description, short description, and full description. So my presentation is more about Apple Store. I love really Apple Store because you can get results much faster. So it's relevant for App Store, but something like screenshots, app title, they are also relevant for Google Play.
Okay, perfect. I see. So quite the same things, but in different forms and in different fields. But the principles can be the same. Yes.
Yeah, the idea is the same. Like it's I just want to to compare that it's like working with Yandex search engine optimization and Google search engine optimization, and maybe even Yandex search engine optimization in Google is much similar because the ranking factors not the same, but the main of them is the same. Like you need to add like title, H1 tag, content to all pages. But yes, the idea is the same. You need to select all keywords, and in case of Google Play, you need to optimize your app title, short description, full description, and it's the main elements to optimize for keywords optimization.
I see. Thank you. Can we get the first results in App Store ACO?
Oh, if you're talking about App Store, on example of OLX, we get first results after release of metadata. So you can see results in 1 day, but we always recommend to wait 5-9 days. And in this time, you will definitely see the difference in results. Or if you don't see the difference in results, so it means that your new title, subtitle, keywords are not better. It's not better than your previous ones, or you made something wrong.
You have to work on it mostly. Okay, so and I have also one more question. So if I implement all those 5 tips that you've shared with us, so is it like enough about the ACO, or there is like a big background, a lot of different work to do? Of you've mentioned, of you told us the whole main principle. This is like all about ACO, and that's all.
No, of course, it's not all of what you need to do working with App Store optimization, but it's the most is the things which we see the biggest number of fails. So I recommend you to focus on these elements, but you also can work with another things like keywords, in-app events. You can work with subscriptions. Description is not working in App Store, but you can work with app icon and a lot of other things. But these ones, let's say, maybe I want to add keywords optimization, and it would be like a great bundle of things what you need to do, like in basic level, to get results.
I see. Okay, so it's like the basic one, but not the list is not ended. Okay, Sasha,
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It was pretty cool, and I was glad to see you, and have a nice day, and see you at Netpeak agency.
Thank you for this opportunity. Hugs. Bye.
Bye. Okay, guys, so our conference finishing now. So I hope you enjoyed this time, and I hope you have found some useful and pretty good things, insights for your business and for your digital campaigns to improve all these marketing activities. And I just want to mention once more about our channels. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel to be informed about our future events and to get access to our past events for free of charge. And follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn, and you will see there our great articles from our Netpeak journal, the biggest digital library about the marketing tools and our own cases. So see you on our future events, and have a lovely day, and hope you've enjoyed very much. Bye. See you.